welcome to Flugelhorn. Up now we're going to take a look at a new iPad app I've got in. This is the SWAM Bass Flute from Audio Modeling. Now a little bit earlier I had posted a first look of the SWAM app for E-flat Flugelhorn. I'll give you a link to that. So this is in the same family. Also be taking a look soon at the SWAM Cello. So look for links to that as well. Okay, so let's dive right into the app. Now, very important. Oh, by the way, I'm going to be using my WARBL MIDI wind controller in Native American style flute fingering mode. Although the fingering mode doesn't matter. It is very important that you set up your WARBL for breath control. Now, right out of the box, the SWAM app here is not set up for breath control. So if I play it, you'll notice that the expression is not moving at all and the sound is rather flat. The first thing you want to do is go into the settings, change the controller mapping, MIDI mapping, quick reset. There's a presets here, and I'm just going to choose the breath controller default. If you had a different breath controller, there's built-in options here for pretty much all the newer controllers and a few historical ones too. I'm just going to pick breath controller default because that's what we did for the Flugelhorn. It should work pretty well. So let's see if it gets the expression now. Yeah, so just straight out of the box, that's what you get. Now there are several flutes available here. So let's just cycle through a couple of those. All right, let's just go back to the Flute A, which is the default one. Now, why did I get a bass flute? Well, I wanted to get the bass flute because that's pretty rare in the realm of flutes, and most of my regular flutes are in the alto to tenor, soprano range. So I really don't have one that goes down this low. Now, the typical range of a real bass flute would be a C below middle C. This one actually goes down to the A, which is the low note of my WARBL setup typically. So this will go down to an A2 in the app. And just to give you a sense of that, this is a bass Native American style flute. I might have misspoke earlier. This goes, the SWAM bass goes down to A2. This is actually an A3. So if I play this root note, and compare that to the SWAM bass flute, yeah, it is indeed an octave lower, and I can tell that also with the RKF Philharmonic. This is standard flute range. Let's see if I can get down to the B on this today. So that's the low note on a standard flute. And if I play the low B, okay, so it's an octave lower than anything else I've got in my repertoire. So that was one reason I wanted to go for the bass flute. Yeah, so let's look at some other things in the app here. You have a lot of control over some of the sound qualities, breath noise, key noise, style. Let's just see what those do. Style is pretty interesting. You get a lot of different sounds there, so I'm not exactly sure what that's doing, but you go from class 0, which is fairly plain, and as you dial this up, seems to be bringing in more overtones and harmonics. Set back to about medium there. Let's see, we got flutter. Growl. Yeah, so that's pretty cool. Now, as I said in the Flugelhorn one limitation of the WARBL is that it does not have any other expression controllers other than the breath. So if you had a more sophisticated controller like the Silphio or even an Iwi, some of the newer Yamahas also have some other controls like a glide strip, or Silphio has some movement controls. If you have a controller like that, you can map them to some of these other controls here and have use of that live. Now with the WARBL, I can still get to them. I just have to play them on the iPad itself with my finger. Okay, some other cool things in the app. Most of the controls you can get to from the home page here, but there are some other things like effects. So you can dial in some compression, EQ, and some reverb. So it has a little bit of reverb just by default, but I can really crank that up if I want to. Does sound better with a little bit of reverb in there. Of course, in a real production, I would probably just record this into my DAW and add some reverb in the DAW. So yeah, that's just a quick look here at the SWAM Bass Flute, and let's just play it out with a little improv. Okay, thanks for watching.